Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. All right, let's ride. We got a nice ride this Saturday morning. Yo, Justin Bieber speaks out to let it be known that he wasn't one of Diddy's victims and that y'all should stop it on social media. You know? So now the trial has begun. They said there's children. They said there's all types of things. We don't hear nothing about that. They said there's all types of freak-offs. We don't hear nothing about that. Now, all we hear about is Cassie revealing, the tapes, and then Diddy in the cross-examination bringing in the text message that shows that they was in love. Cassie still says she's in love. I think if Diddy beat this, that Cassie and Diddy may reunite. What do y'all think about that? Put it in the comments. We're going to go through what's going on with Justin Bieber while he's not a part of this case. So sit back, listen, enjoy the ride, and remember, subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel at Juanita Mecca Audio. She speak about what it's like being a young lady that was raised on the streets without her father because he was serving life in prison with no chance of parole for 26 years of her life from she was 7 years old. Check it out. All right. All right, you know what it is. Unique Make Audio, man. We're going to sit back. We're going to enjoy this Saturday. Make sure you're... listen, I want to say this before I go any further. I did a nice little Tory Lanez joint on the YouTube Shorts. My daughter taught me how to do the YouTube Shorts, so I did a little Tory Lanez joint, and I break it down about a scenario that, if he was being pressed, why, the hit took place. And I did a nice little ride for a little 30 seconds, right? That was just a scenario, y'all. Come on, dog. I don't get into the politics of what's going on, but I'm just giving different outlooks of the way certain situations could play out in life from a gangster point of view, because this is a gangster channel. Is that understood? So don't take things personal, get your panties in a bunch, We don't need to do all that, all right? Let's get this moving. Now, let's see what's going on with Justin and how he has nothing to do with this case, but yet people still is anticipating him showing up. Do you think Justin will show up at the case? Put it in the comments, because we don't heard all this about everything that Diddy did to, Justin, Usher, all these people. And now the trial is here, where the evidence is supposed to be put forward, and only evidence we have of these alleged crimes is YouTube content creators, And I give them a round of applause. I give them a round of applause. All right, relax, man. Relax. I give the YouTube content a round of applause because they create great content, and all they doing is just taking you where their mind is taking them for how they need to shock you to hit that like button. And they're doing a wonderful job. But don't take everything said on YouTube as facts. Take it as entertainment. They look at it as conspiracy. See, when the Europeans ran with the conspiracy theory thing, right? When they ran with the, all they different, the UFOs and all of this that was going on. When they ran with all that, some believed it, some didn't, but they didn't, keep it going per se. Because no one even talks about UFOs no more. They're going to be talking about Diddy for the rest of whenever. And, that's what's so sad about the whole thing, is that they're going to be talking about Diddy forever behind this. But let me play this joint so you can see what Justin Bieber got to do with this.
Was Justin Bieber a victim of his alleged predatory and inappropriate behavior? Well, I'll tell you what. Now, as week one of Combs' sex trafficking and racketeering trial comes to a close, Justin Bieber's camp is finally responding. So his representatives told TMZ, quote, although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve.
Now we got to break this down, Rob. We got to break this down. We got to take a ride. We got to take a ride and break this down. Now, Justin pulled himself out of it per his representative statements that they put out to the media. And then he threw Diddy under the bus all in the same statement. Now, he took it by saying, although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, right? Now, they saying that Justin ain't got nothing to do with it because Justin ain't going up there to go put his whole career on blast talking about if Diddy did do this or if he did do that. You know what I mean? So he pulled himself out, right? By saying, although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, now they're making a statement of fact. Their statement of fact is there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. How do you know this when he's going through a trial now to see if there was individuals that was harmed by him? Other than the social media creator contenters, you know, that made this content that the world is running with. Now, do you see that? He said there are individuals who were generally harmed by him. Shifting focus, right? Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve. These are alleged victims because he's going to trial for this right now. We're just breaking this down from a legal point of view. I'm just saying, don't convict a man until the jury of his peer convict him, because that's the way the Constitution is set up. Now, let's move forward with this ride.
So to talk about this, I want to bring back on former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani. Nima, so good to see you. Thanks so much for coming here on Sidebar. I want to talk about the timing of this. The timing of this statement from Justin Bieber's camp. This can't be just a coincidence.
No, it can't be, because one of the biggest questions in the Diddy trial is what other celebrities will be named who participated in the freak-offs. And
you see the way he said, what other celebrities will be named? You know, it's like they're still convicting a man that's going to trial. He's been convicted on social media. He's saying that will. Just listen to the way they're talking, like if they're still running with the narrative that Diddy's guilty and he's going to trial. And we're going to see what they're bringing against him. Social media have all this evidence, all these videotapes, all these phone calls, all these, everybody testifying about what they seen on social media. Now it's time to come forward and bring it into a courtroom and get a shot. And he should be punished to the fullest extent of the law for whatever crimes that the jury of his peer deserve or deem that he's guilty of. I myself believe in castration for some of the things that, you know what I mean, I've heard that he's allegedly done on social media. I would just castrate anybody that do that. That's just me, you know. But let's get back to this.
And who witnessed the freak-offs. I mean, Diddy's white parties are infamous. And
listen, Diddy's white parties are infamous, and who witnessed the freak-offs? The government is getting ready to put on their case about a freak-off, and all we hear about is Cassie and Diddy freaking off. Now, we have 8 weeks. We got 8 weeks to the government's defense, and we definitely going to look at it most favorable, as the courts do, to the government's defense, because they're bringing these charges, right? Now, they're still talking about these infamous white parties and these freak-offs and everything that went down. And from my investigation, the government even said that there is no freak-off tapes, just the Cassie tape. We'll see. We have 8 weeks to see if they're going to produce some tapes, but everyone is saying that all these freak-offs, nothing is caught on tape. How do you don't have a freak-off on tape and everybody had a phone? How they don't have a freak-off tape and everybody have a phone? Somebody explain that to me. But see, that's where the rat bastards and flip-flop wearing in public trolls that hate when a dude is stepping up the ladder come and try and pull him down by any means necessary. And that's what it looked like is happening here. We know he's a freak. You talking about pissing on people's warts and mouth. A lot of that is disgusting that was being said. A lot of that was disgusting, you know? But Is that a RICO? You tell me in the comments how that shows that that's a RICO, because I'm a little confused here, and we're trying to learn at the Mecca. Let's change up scenes real quick, and we gonna go here. You know what I mean? Right? Y'all want to go there? Nah, we're gonna take it here. Now let's finish playing Diddy.
One of the victims that people have been talking about for about a year and a half now has been Justin Bieber. And now, finally, after week one of trial, when we know that Don Richard is the next witness and we're going to start hearing who the government thinks is going to help corroborate their case, we are not going to hear from Justin Bieber. And it really goes back to a video when he was about 15 years old, when Combs said he was going to spend 48 hours with Justin Bieber. And that's when all the speculation began. Bieber's camp didn't say anything until now, but I think it's important that he did. And he also, like many celebrities in Hollywood, want to stay as far away from the Diddy trial as possible.
Because you think that there was talk.
Yo, you know what this remind me of? It just came to mind. Sorry for riding. Sorry for riding. But this remind me of a modern day Michael Jackson situation. But all of a sudden it shifts all the way from kids, because Diddy was, did all this to these kids and, allegedly, and everything was just so crazy, But it shifts from kids to a relationship with a woman and crazy, kinky, sexual things going on in their bedrooms that they labeled freak-offs. That's now anything that has to do with Diddy and a party is a freak-off per social media. See, let me give you a little story, right? Because you already know I like to ride. I've been gone 26 years, right? So I didn't see none of this. When I left, I had phones that was around my shoulder with a motorcycle battery pack for juice, right? If you wanted extra power, right? And the regular joint that came with it was this big. That's the battery that came with the phone when I left. They just was coming out with the Motorola flip phones. And then since I've been gone, right? I'm so fascinated with what I missed that since I've been gone, when I go to flea markets every week. I'm going when I get off of here. I done went and brought all these old phones that y'all look at and say they old, but I never seen them. I wish I could get these little joints to work. If y'all know how I could get these little phones to work, let me know. I want to feel like I'm back in the 2000s that I missed. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I could sit back and I see things a certain way because I'm looking at it from a blank slate is the point that I'm making. Right? I didn't see the transformation of phones. I didn't see Diddy's rise. I didn't see none of that. I was in prisons that didn't have satellite radio, and we just had local radio, and they normally was in the West Bubba Woods somewhere, and they playing Johnny Cash, and Shania Twain. Those are the people I listened to. I remember I told a girl, right, I dedicated a song to a young lady, the Eagles. I think it was, love will keep us together, something like that. But I love that song because I continuously heard it on the radio on my Walkman while I was locked in solitary confinement for about 6 months. I heard this song. They continuously played it. It was a hit song for that area. And I dedicated this to, the young lady I was talking to in the Bronx. And she wrote me back and said, "Nigga, you lost your mind? What the hell they got you listening to up there?" She asked me if I lost my mind for dedicating a country song to her, right? Y'all put in the comments what you think of that. But, I liked it because I heard it so much, and I think it was a dope song. It was the Eagles. Love will keep us together. Y'all look that up, But she laughed and laughed and laughed. But, let me get back to Jesse Weber, man. But I'm just saying, I see this for what it is. Everybody had him convicted with kids, with this, the freak off, that, and now the trial is here where, the greatest investigation agencies in the world is bringing their case against them, and we don't have these freak off tapes. We just got these freak off content creators. Somebody explain this to me.
Talk of him testifying, and he didn't, he wanted to shut that down.
I think so. I think People want to know, because look, the trial's lasting 2 months, right? 8 weeks, maybe even 10 weeks. And I know Judge Subramanian is trying to move it along as quickly as he can. But now that Cassie Ventura is wrapping up her testimony, we know that we're going to hear from a couple other victims. But the government needs to fill that time. And what they're wanting to do is put on victims that really aren't in a romantic relationship and never have been with Combs, right?
That's because this is sounding more, when you hear these extra, lawsuits, the first thing you think is scorned lover. They freak off in the relationship, and then there's a loophole to get a bag at the exit strategy. And we're going to label it the Diddy stimulus. Cassie cashed in. Everybody ran with, she asked for 30 million, she got 100 million. Even my dumb ass said she got between 30 and 100 to be safe. And then she gets 20 million. The same 20 million that I want y'all to understand that Diddy would have gave her for a weekend of a freak off. He would have gladly given her that 20 million for a weekend freak off on his $68 million yacht. 20 million is nothing to him. That's like you giving a girl 20 grand. You know what I mean? To him, if even that, But that's where we at, so you understand. But let's finish this tape.
Cassie got impeached with some of that, the emails, the text messages, the words that she put, those words of affirmation. So to the extent that there are other victims, that's how the government's going to be able to overwhelm the defense here. And if it's a celebrity victim, even better.
See, here's the thing. I think about it, and I'm sure he didn't want to. I guess the idea is, not distract from the conversation that's being had, but to make a statement towards the end of the week, after opening statements, after or towards the conclusion of Cassandra Ventura's testimony, when he makes a statement confirming that there were people harmed by Combs, does that signify to you that he believes the prosecution's case, or does he think it's beyond the criminal case and based on the accusations we've seen in the civil arena?
I think it's probably the former. And like you said, the key part of that statement was denying that he was a victim, but really talking about the other victims. And it wasn't alleged victims. He said other victims.
Pause. See, that's exactly what I said. He said Justin wasn't a victim, but although there were other victims, so they say they know they was other victims. So does Justin know this? And then told that to them? Because this is the type of thing that creates crazy social media content. Justin Bieber said there was other victims. Justin Bieber said there was other victims, because that's what the statement reads. And then now everybody runs with content on it. Before you know it, it's Justin Bieber said there was other victims. That's why you must be careful what you say on social media, because you always have rat bastards and flip-flop wearing and public trolls lurking in the dark. And you already know what they deserve. But, we're not promoting violence. We're just having fun and creating content.
Well, through his spokesperson. So I think that is very, very important. This isn't a Michael Jackson type case where, celebrities are rushing to Combs' defense. Very few people are. And the fact that you have someone come out that really isn't 50 Cent or someone who, is trying to make light of it, or a documentary about it, and really point the finger at Diddy, that's a big deal, Jesse.
Mm-hmm. And he mentioned harmed by him, right? It was very specific language. They were genuinely harmed by him, and the shifting focus away from this reality distracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve. There's no way to parse that language.
There isn't, and the defense is obviously trying to separate physical harm from sex trafficking and sexual assault, but the average person who's watching isn't going to be making that distinction. That may matter in the case, but it's not going to matter in the court of public opinion.
And Bieber's statement, it comes as this TikTok started floating around on Friday. There was a doctored image of Bieber where he allegedly announces that he's going to testify against Combs, but the video was quickly debunked as fake. And Nima, you think at the end of the day, are we going to see some celebrity or celebrity friends testify at this trial?
I think we have to, because there's got to be independent witnesses that, saw some of this, right? I'm not saying maybe the actual freak-offs themselves, maybe there are other...
You see how he's convinced there's freak-offs. The government said there's no freak-off tapes. I'm gonna just say that again. Does anybody know what freak-offs they're talking about now that there is no tapes for no freak-off and everybody had a cell phone during this time frame and they filming a cow taking a crap on the side of the road in West Bubba up? And there's no freak-off tapes captured on anyone's phone? Somebody tell me what's going on. I think they got to be freak-off tape. They got to be. I heard too much about freak-off tape. They got to be. They must be holding it in the cuff. You know what I mean? Because they got 8 weeks to perform everything. I think they got to have freak-off tape. I can't see them not having it. Not after everything I see on social media. Could y'all believe them not having freak-off tape? I know the government said there's no freak-off tapes, but you think that might just be a bluff? They got to be freak-off tape. Because listen to the way this guy is talking. Like, he's seen the tapes. He knows something we don't know. I don't know. Let's check this out.
Participants, but Combs was very public, and Cassie Ventura, to the extent that she was abused, it's like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, right? You got Kate Moss was brought into that case. People that are rich and famous celebrities, they have rich and famous celebrity friends, right? That's why Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, we're talking about Taylor Swift. This is a small circle here in Hollywood. So the independent witnesses are very likely going to be other celebrities. So I think we're just starting to scratch the surface when it comes to that.
Word, because they got to have celebrities. Because right now, this is not looking too good for the government. I'm going to just say that, Not after Cassie saying, yeah, I love him, and I called and I threw a wig on, I threw a disguise, and I used a fake ID, and I did this and I did that to conceal this. Come on, dog. And then say, and I still love him. And then Diddy has the nerve to say, but I love a dog. Come on, man. This is a ghetto, or shall I say a hip-hop Romeo and Juliet playing out in front of us, man. I'm making fun of it because I can't even believe this, but that tape where he kicked her ass, I'm going to say this. He should have definitely been brought up for charges and punished to the fullest extent of the law because he gave her ass whooping. He definitely should have been brought up. So, I ain't picking side. It's just that it's just funny, the other part, not the ass-kicking part. You know what I mean? But even in that tape, I might even still play it. I watched the whole 15-minute tape, and she had 10 times to leave. He was even talking to the hotel dude in the tape. If y'all didn't see it, let me know, and I'll put it in the comments if you want me to play the tape. But I figured everybody saw it. It was a whole 15-minute tape with the whole thing. And she had plenty of time to leave. She's on the phone. She's been nasty. And he's talking to the security guard over there for like 6 minutes. So that 6 minutes, she could have used that to get the hell out of Dodge, But her life was in danger and she couldn't leave, is what she said. But the defense is doing a good job of painting their picture and the government is doing a good job of painting their picture, but the truth will prevail between the two pictures. And then we're going to have one picture, which will be either innocent or guilty verdict. Let's keep it moving.
So the question becomes, why do fans believe that Justin Bieber could have been one of Sean Combs' targets, right? You mentioned it before. Well, as the legal saga against Combs ramped up last year, there was video clips that started to resurface of Combs and Bieber spending some time together. And people noticed that the videos often kind of straddled the line.
It straddled the line because this is what they'll do, right? I'm going to show you how they'll do. Look how Justin, is hugging him. You know what I mean? See the way Justin got his thumb up on his back? He's not letting his thumb touch him because he really don't want to touch him. So I don't even think Justin is really touching him to pat him on his back. And look at Diddy, though. Look at Diddy's eyes. You can see he's in love, like he's having an orgasm or something while Justin is just next to him. You know what I mean? This is how they create content. This is Justin, and then they put on the title, Diddy has orgasm when Justin hugs him. You know what I mean? And then they say, look at his eyes, and they put a circle around his eyes with an arrow pointing to his eyes, saying that Diddy's having an orgasm. This is how they create content, and then they run with it. You know what I mean? Because the picture says 1,000 words. You know what I mean? This picture could also be saying, you know what I mean, that Justin is going through something and he shared it with Sean, and now Sean is sitting here saying a silent prayer for whatever it is that Justin, may have shared with him. And then you could also put up a content creative video saying that Sean Diddy Combs emphasizes with Justin's issues on that same picture. Or you could put up on that same picture, Sean Diddy Combs had an orgasm when Justin Bieber hugged him. And I mean, come on, you see what I'm saying here? And then they run with it. I just want y'all to see that I've been going 26 years, so I'm seeing what's going on because, like, we already know, come on, son.
Time between awkward and inappropriate.
See?
And Bieber sometimes seemed really uncomfortable. For example, when Bieber was 15 years old, he uploaded...
You see what I'm saying? This is a prime example now, right? They're going to show when he's 15 years old, and they're going to break down how this is very, very inappropriate from their standpoint.
A video to his YouTube channel called 48 Hours with Diddy. And this is where he said he was going to be hanging out with the rapper for a couple of days.
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
Now, some fans called out Combs for allegedly grooming behavior they say was exhibited in this video, spending time at his home with a young kid who's suddenly been thrown into the world of fame and money, taking him under his wing, offering up opportunities, maybe gifts that he could only dream of.
Yeah, so...
Hold on. So I'm just asking, because like I said, I'm just coming out here, right? How is that inappropriate? I wish somebody would take, my child or even me at 15 and teach me. How Diddy's not teaching them how to, work the keyboard, how to arrange songs, got him studying his homework, making sure that, he's moving forward in life, because that's what a mentor do. Or is it any mentor you're trying to say if they were the 15-year-old kids? Something. You see where I'm going at with this? I didn't see nothing inappropriate in him saying that, he got him and his friend there and he's grooming him, to get into the business and to be able to understand his lifestyle, if that's what it was. But then it could also be like, yeah, I got him and his boys here and I'm going to blow their back out. You know what I mean? Excuse the language, but I just want y'all to understand that it could go either way, and it's where your mind is at and how you see the person. Just like when someone bring you a message and tell you that, such and such said such and such, you always ask yourself, what's the messenger motive? Why is he telling me this? Why you feel the need to tell me this? What reaction do you want from this? Why you bringing me this message? It's the same thing that we're dealing on with this. Pay attention, stick with the ride. Stick with the ride, don't let me lose you. That's the same thing. Like now, a messenger bring you on YouTube from their content creating the message that what he did was inappropriate because all of these alleged speculations that now they have their chance to prove in court that we hear Justin saying they're not going to prove in court, that he's not even coming to court, and that he wasn't a victim. But then he's saying that there was more victims. So that could sound to me, riding, like Justin is saying, yeah, I'm a victim. I don't want to get involved, but I'm letting you know that I wasn't the only one. It was other motherfuckers too that was being by P Diddy. That's what Justin's message right there sounds like it's saying from a street point of view, Leave my name out of it, so I'm going to say I'm not one, because I'm not coming to testify, but there was other that was there that I know for a fact. You know what I mean? But I ain't coming. That's one of them messages to me. How do you take that message? I might put it back up before this joint go off, all right?
As soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you I'm like, yeah, this gonna be yours.
Now tell me what is wrong with him saying as soon as he turns 16, when he get his license, that he gonna let him drive this car. And everybody said it's, whoa. I told him, y'all, let's take a ride. I told a young lady to drive, right? And she driving my $30,000, $40,000 car, and she crashes the car. And she's panicking all in the whole block. I can't believe I crashed the car. I'm so sorry, big brother. I'm so sorry. I'm like, yo, don't even worry about it. You know what I mean? We just went to the garage, got another car, and I told her, get in the driver's seat, you drive it. Oh, no, I'm scared to drive. What if I crash? Yo, it's just a car. You know what I mean? Oh, but it costs so much money. It's just a car. But everybody looking at it like, Diddy shows him a Ferrari that cost $250,000. So, oh my God, who get that to a 16-year-old kid? Somebody that looks at it is just a hunk of metal. It's just a car. It's a beautiful car. It's a beautiful hunk of metal. We could buy another one, or we could fix it. Come on, dog. Oh, he's just my car, $250,000 at 16 years old. Who does that? Someone that looks at it as just a car. Look.
Yeah, it's a little dusty.
See? He said it's dusty. I don't even drive this.
Man.
Minute.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Now, look,
Now, let's hear what they're going to say is inappropriate about that. You telling me you got money and you wouldn't sit there and, let your nephew drive, your Ferrari? Isn't it happening in Hollywood, the people that have it like that don't look at a Ferrari as this big expensive machine that, needs to be cherished and put in a glass box? No, it's just a car. But people watching this from our end, they're looking at the value and putting their morals and their financial standpoint in this gesture. And I want to hear what they're going to say about this. I'm just showing you, if I was into my legal stance in defending Diddy, this is how I would do it. But I'm just showing you two sides of this one story. And that's all it is. All right, not telling you to believe me, not telling you to believe that, because a lot of this I just, I just make up and just give you all examples. So it's not even what I believe. It's just giving you different examples, different conspiracy theories, and different ways of looking at things, thinking about things, and receiving and comprehend things, because we're in class right now. All right? Now let's ride back to Jesse Weber.
of course, this could all be for the camera, it could be performative. Bieber could have left right after this. We don't really know, but the video made the rounds. Speculation around Combs grew. And then another clip surfaced. And this one posted to Combs' YouTube page showing another interaction. This time, apparently.
Whoa, look at the way he hugged him. Look how Diddy's mouth is open. He's salivating at the mouth. Content creator short. Diddy salivates at the mouth from hugging Justin Bieber. This is really what's going on. I figured this out. Everybody's saying, oh, man, hold up. So, y'all, I got proof. I always say proof. I got 100,000 subscribers for my proof that I figured this out, because that's how I'm able to do what I do on YouTube to earn this plaque. You understand what I'm saying? Just so you understand. I figured this out. You understand? It's whoever could create the craziest story, and it's supposed to be created for entertainment, but they turn entertainment into facts. That's what's happening on YouTube, Unique. This is the conversation I had myself. I said, but I'm not going to go down that road, because I know my voice is going to carry, and I want it to carry in a positive direction and not a negative direction. So I said, Unique, we react to videos, and show them the other side of things that we know is in their subconscious mind, but not in their conscious mind. So when we tap into their subconscious and then hit the conscious, they say, oh, snap, I like this channel. Let me hit a like button. You see how I figured this out? But instead of people trying to talk to me and say, Unique, how do you see this? How are you doing what you're doing? Instead of them doing that, they want to make fake videos and say anything negative, because that's how the YouTube works. You put somebody's name in a comment and you put something nasty with the name. Like I said, look at Diddy. Diddy salivates at the mouth. About to have an orgasm from putting his hand around Justin Bieber's shoulder. I can't do videos like that, But when I see videos like that, I laugh at them if I choose to watch them, and I take it for what I know it's supposed to be created for, and that's entertainment. That's not facts. It's bad, man. That's funny. That's like a dude, content creators, all of us, me included, we're comedians. You know what I mean? We're comedians, and that's what it is. We got to make you laugh, and shock you for you to hit the like button for us to make $1. See how I figured this out? let me get back to this video because this might be a little too deep of a ride for you. You know what I mean? Not all of y'all. I know a lot of my people that's here regular, y'all understand where I'm at. You know, I'm always dropping jewels. It's already 35 minutes and I'm just riding. I can end right now and get the same money. But this is not about the money, the views, the likes. This is about the message that I'm bringing. All right? Let's keep this moving.
In a studio.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right,
doing?
young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh?
No.
Oh, shit. Diddy just threatened him. You see the way Diddy threw his chest up, starting to act different, huh? Yo, Diddy threatened him like, yo, what's up? You ain't giving it up no more? This how they ran with this video, you know? And Justin is going to cower now with, you know what I mean? But this could just be Diddy trying to act hip to show the world that, you know, he talked to Justin like he from the street and he's one of them and he's grooming him and he's his protege. And Diddy could just be in play mode, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, you're starting to act different. You know how many times? Let me give you a ride. I'm going to give y'all one of my famous lines. I always tell a dude when I see him, I'm happy to see him. I said, man, I like it better when you was broke. You know what I mean? Because now that you got two crunions to rub together, you don't know your black friends no more. I like it better when you was broke. You know, so that could be that type of greeting that Diddy's giving him, like he's just, you know, flex, man, I like it better when you was broke. You know what I mean? Let's keep it moving, you know. And it could be that he's intimidating them too now. I'm not picking sides, I'm just giving you both sides of the coin.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you haven't. You try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But
You don't think this could just be a 15-year-old kid nervous that he's even standing in front of his idol and he's being confronted like that, put it on the spot, and he's just nervous from that? Or you think that he's nervous because it's like, oh my God, I got to get away from him. He did these terrible things to me. He did these terrible, terrible, terrible things to me. I got to get away from him. Could he be thinking that right now? Or could he just be nervous that he's in front of Puff Daddy with the camera on right now and Diddy talking to him like that? I'm just saying, y'all put it in the comments, man. I just want y'all to really see what's going on and make your own decision. And I need to change this background because this is, I like to mix it up. You know what I mean? I like to mix it up.
But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
Awkward. I don't know. It could have been a joke for the cameras. Nima, what do you take away from these videos?
You see what I'm saying? Now you want to ask, what do you take away from the videos? When they first put them out, you should have explained this other side then instead of running with that side. That's what I think. I'm just saying, you know. But I know I'm just a little content creator trying to figure it out after 26 years in federal prison. So sit back, enjoy the ride.
Yeah, it's awkward and it's weird. So, look, if it's just by itself, maybe you look past it. But there's been a lot of allegations involving minors, not in the criminal case. That hasn't been charged. That would be a
Exactly. Yeah, and he's still spreading allegations with minors. This man on trial for his life. His business is liberty, and you're saying there's still allegations, you know, but he's not on trial. Where aren't those trial? Bring him in trial for these and castrate him at the end. Bring him in trial for these. If you find him guilty, you castrate him.
game changer, but in the civil lawsuits. So I'm not saying that those are true, but sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire, and you have a lot of these civil claimants alleging that Combs is also sexually abusing men and boys and children. So,
hold on. I don't know. I gotta ask a question. Cause we riding. I gotta ask a question, right? Didn't Cassie say that the male escorts and Diddy never do anything, or did I miss that? Because they're running with this that he's a cipher, monkey cipher, but here's his woman of 15 years, unless he was in the closet from her. See, that could be it too. Like I said, we don't pick sides. We just give you both sides. The heads and the tail. No pun intended. Pause. No he cipher, monkey cipher, everything. But that's where we at right now. They're still saying that he's into men. His women haven't said that. I haven't heard it yet in the trial. If y'all did, let me know. And as these allegations that were brought against him doing this social media content creator extravaganza, let's bring it up front and let's point it out. See, we was right. He is a he cyber. He is into men. You know what I mean? Cassie even said that he got bang, 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 boom. You see what I'm saying? All right.
Again, not charged in the criminal case, but given those allegations out there, I think it's something that people are going to pick up on, and rumors and speculation are going to fly.
Exactly, and that's all of this seems to be, a bunch of rumors and speculation. So y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. So far, that's what it's looking like. But they got 8 weeks to show is different, and that's what the covering of this trial is going to be so good about, because it's going to take all types of twists and turns where you can say, I told you so, Unique, I told you so, you know what I mean? And I can say, I told you so, I told you so, and we just have fun with it. But it's nothing for us to run with like we're going to try and kill each other because we have difference of opinions, or we see things differently, or, we paint a picture that you may not like. Because that's what this is about. It's about tapping into your mind and bringing out the deepest of your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and comprehension of everything that's going on around you. And this is a part of it. So now we know what the law is, because they're using P Diddy as an example to show that when you do these type of crimes, there is a statute that puts you in prison and bring you to trial for violating. Now, Diddy could say, I didn't know. So we didn't know. So we didn't know that if you flew a girl that you met on Instagram from Tennessee to, Virginia, that's sex trafficking. We didn't know. But we're learning from P. Diddy, and this is a learning experience here at the Mecca.
So, according to sources who spoke to TMZ, Bieber was actually friends with Combs' sons, and that many of his past public appearances with Combs have been, quote, performative. So in 2015, Combs presented Bieber with an American Music Award for Best Collaboration and gave him a big hug on stage. And then in 2020, Bieber did an interview with Apple Music. And in it, he expressed how he wishes he could protect other young artists like Billie Eilish from some of what he experienced in the music industry as a teenager. But he didn't really elaborate beyond that.
And see, that's where he needs to really come out. If this happened, I think that Justin Bieber should really come out and lay their ass out. You don't conceal people. No, lay their ass out. If they touched you as a child and it wasn't with your consent, and you can't give consent as a child, you know what I mean? Lay it out. Do not protect Diddy or anyone that has done anything inappropriate to a child. And that's what we're pushing over here, Mecca Audio. I just want you to understand that, I can see, from my opinion, that Justin has issues. Something happened with Justin, or he's seen something, or it happened to him personally. But until he's ready to bring that out, everyone can't just run with what they want to run with. You know what I mean? Because all that's going to do is make him run back in more and run back in more. And then, the little fellow on his shoulder telling them, I told you so, don't say nothing, keep it a secret, while it continuously happened to other children. So we have to figure out a way to communicate to get the alleged victims to feel comfortable to be able to speak on these things. I'm talking real serious now, because, just the thought of that is disgusting. And, they're bringing that back up when even the government said, nah, it ain't had nothing to do with kids. But that don't mean nothing didn't happen with Justin Bieber or she either. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying right now ain't nobody come out and say that there's no proof of that. Is all I'm saying, that the government is saying at this time. But you better believe they're still looking, and there may be more charges to come. So that's where y'all can hang your hat on, that there's going to be a whole nother. That if he beat this, they might come back at him with something totally different and just rearrange it and pull the RICO out of it. And they'll be able to take him to trial again. That's how crazy this is, just so you understand. All right? You can beat it and still wind up getting a whole new charge, as long as it's not dealing with the same set of facts and allegations. So if they get more new victims, then it's more new charges, like more new civil suits. So all them civil suits is being investigated to become possible criminal cases. You see how y'all get jewels over here at the Mecca?
One of Bieber's most recent interactions with Combs was even more awkward than the prior ones, if that's possible. It reportedly took place in 2021. Nima, I want you to take a look at this with me, okay? So in the video, Bieber with shaggy hair.
Yo, I'm gonna have to say this. This one don't look good for the diddler. Oh, they call it diddler. This don't look good for the diddler right here. Because it do look like he's patting young Justin down. I got to keep it 100. Watch this tape. This don't look good for the diddler. This is one of them where he'll have to explain or Justin have to explain. But this is not looking good for the diddler. Check this out. Watch how he patting him down, though. I got to get that one there. I don't know. I got to think of a reason why so I can give you another side to it. But right now, this don't look good.
Under a baseball cap. He greets Diddy. He's got a big smile on his face, but something seems just a little bit off about the whole thing.
Watch him touching him. Look at him. He's feeling him. Look, he's touching him.
Bieber's chest. There are some who have speculated that he was making sure Bieber wasn't wearing a wire, even though there's no way to actually confirm that.
Hold on. So what if he was just patting him? Okay, you know we got to need all this out. What if he was just patting him to tell him, man, because that was his heart he was patting. Diddy was patting him on his heart, saying, man, you got to be strong, man. This game is not for the weak. You got to be strong, man. Yo, you got to be strong, man. I'm going to watch that back and think, man, and think if Diddy could be telling him, you know, yo, you got to be strong, man. Because he patting him on his chest, telling him, like, young man, you got to be strong. Because he must have been going through something. He called him to meet up with him for a minute just to get that strength going. And he's just telling him that he got to be strong. It's just a speculation. It's not me saying it's what it is. So he's going to go jump out and get the panties in a bunch saying that Unique is defending Diddy. All right? Let's check this out now. Check this out.
On his face, but something seems just a little bit off about the whole thing because Combs seems to pat Bieber's chest.
Be strong, my nigga. Be strong. It's gonna be all right, my nigga. It's gonna be
good,
sure
man. Bieber wasn't wearing a wire, even though there's no way to actually confirm that.
It could be that. Could it be that? Well, you see how you got to show both sides so you understand, but they just run with one side on social media and all hell break loose. The diddler done did it again. You know, the diddler done did it again. Oh my God. See, look. Say, be strong, man. Everything gonna be all right.
Nima, what do you make of that?
Yeah, awkward and weird. I'm not surprised people think that he was patting him down. Just not something that you typically see. And again, it's just part of this real pattern of kind of strange conduct.
Man, he's touching him on his heart, man. Tell him be strong, man. Be that lion that you are, man.
Between Combs and Bieber. So I understand why people are speculating that it's something more than just this innocent friendship.
You know, in 2023, Bieber had collaborated with Combs on the song Moments from Combs' last studio release. It's called the Love Album, Off the Grid, and it featured collaborations with a lot of different artists. Justin Bieber has had a lot of ups and downs over the years. We pretty much watched him grow up, and that meant that many of his mistakes and questionable decisions were fodder for the tabloids. You know, in fact, Law and Crime Sierra Gillespie actually put together a great episode on Bieber's latest struggles in the spotlight for our new channel, Scandal. I encourage everybody to go check it out. But there has been speculation that possible abuse in Bieber's past could be a source for some of his bad boy behavior. And
they said possible abuse. We know from watching on social media he's been abused. He's been everything under the sun. Let social media tell it, you know. But have Justin said he's been abused? I'm saying by anyone yet? I'm just asking. I mean, but yo, he do look like a troubled kid. I'm gonna give him that. He definitely look like a troubled kid, and he may even have been abused. You know what I mean? I'm not taking that out of the equation, but I'm just saying though that there's no proof of anything, and everybody running with the content creating entertainment as facts. That's what this show is about, and have me bugging on. You know?
Potential mental health problems in recent years. Now, Nima, that could be a stretch. Some could see it as a connection. Are you think there's something to that or not?
It could. You know, people are speculating, right? I mean, obviously, I'm here in Hollywood, and people will see Justin Bieber looking disheveled or losing weight. And, you know, of course, the tabloids are going to jump to conclusions, right?
Hey, hold up. You see how they talk, right? Just to give you an idea. He's saying that people, they see him in Hollywood, he look disheveled and he's losing weight, right? He's wearing a sparkling white, brand new sweatshirt that's supposed to be worn by the fashion, this, whatever the hell he called it. You know what I mean? I can't even believe they even going through that. The man wearing a brand new white shirt. I can see if the joint was all dirty and greasy and had soda stains on it and everything else. Disheveled, he said. You know what I mean? The young man is just chilling, man. He just threw on a brand new sweatshirt, brand new pair of shorts and shoes, and he go out. And because it's not to your, liking or your expectation of what a young man his age is supposed to be wearing, now he looks disheveled and, he done lost his mind. Let's make a video up about it. Look at this. Justin Bieber lost his mind and rips his t-shirt apart. You know what I mean? In public. Come on, dog. Creating content like a mother today.
Is it drugs? Is it relationship problems? Is it trauma from past sex abuse? And
now they went to trauma from past sex abuse. Did Justin say he was actually abused? I know social media said it. I know everybody ran with it. Do you think if Justin Bieber was actually abused, that Diddy wouldn't be on trial for that first before Cassie? I don't know, man. Yeah, what we used to say back in the day, let's ride. You know what I mean? If my aunt was my uncle would be my aunt. Something crazy like that.
It's really impossible to know what, if anything, he's going through, but he does appear to be acting and looking differently as of late.
But some will say, if he's making this comment now, and they're looking at his past interactions and making comments through over the years, about protecting young artists, this is a big question that a lot of celebrities have. And I'm not pointing the finger at anybody, but there are those who I'm sure will say, if celebrities knew something, why didn't they say something?
Right there, I'm gonna say this right there, right? If Diddy's guilty, he should get the maximum punishment, period. Because these are some strong allegations that he's saying that, Diddy may have done something with Justin Bieber. Just the thought of that, is the death penalty. There's no compromising on that at all. That's how serious this is, and that's why I like to make sure that the facts is out before I'll make a situation to condemn a man, because that's condemning a man if he did something as horrific as that social media has been running with. He's in trial now. None of this is up there, so y'all just put in the comments how you look at that, and I know you're convinced he did this, and you think the feds couldn't catch it, and put it together to bring him in case the same as they're doing right now with the Cassie situation. But social media is a mother. I'm just coming out. That's how I notice this. I'm just coming out here. So I'm looking at it from fresh eyes. Y'all been looking at it and believing everything you see on it until somebody show you or tell you that, no, that was, fake news. Until then you spread that fake news, then you find out it's fake news, but you don't get a chance to go back and tell everyone that you spread the news to that was fake news, that was fake news, that was fake news. So they still running with the fake news when right now the real news. But the other 50 you done told, done told another 50 and another 50, and you standing here the only one knowing the truth, and these other people still running with the fake news, and before you know it, the fake news become the facts. You see how I figured this out nice and smooth? I feel good today, so I'm just really sharing this with you, Come on, let me give you a little intro real quick. All right, so we back. I just wanted to do that to wake the party up a little bit, because it's our little Saturday afternoon ride, man.
And by the way, that came up with the Harvey Weinstein case, right? People allegedly knew rumors about his behaviors, but rumors one thing, how much do you definitively know? What do you say to that? Because again, we obviously don't know who knew what. I don't believe this trial is going to sort through any of that whatsoever. I don't think we're going to be seeing big names either being named in this trial or even taking the stand. But what do you say to the argument somebody had to know something if these allegations are true?
Look, I think it's a fair argument, Jesse. This seems like it was one of the worst kept secrets in Hollywood. How can you sexually abuse or assault people for a span of years or decades and people not know, especially when a lot of this happened in hotel rooms or with other people around? This is the same arguments people make with respect to Weinstein or Epstein or other abusers. This isn't your typical sexual assault that is behind closed doors without other people present. That's one of the things that makes this case so unique. And look, there is going to be speculation and there is going to be rumors and there are going to be rumors. And that's what social media is all about. I mean, we saw some of the rumors dispelled this week when Cassie was saying, you know what, the baby oil didn't contain drugs. Even the government star witness is addressing some of these rumors on that witness stand. So I'm not surprised Bieber and his reps are doing the same.
Yeah. So you think a lot of eyeballs on Hollywood?
You see, he just proved the point that I was making. Everybody ran with it. It was sex in the baby oil. What is a man doing with 1,000 bottles of baby oil? Well, Cassie just told you. Every 10 minutes he was using 4 bottles on me. You know what I mean? That's a lot of baby oil. He liked you real slick. You know what I mean? So I don't know how he could get mad because your mouth was slick. You know what I mean? I don't get it. You know what I mean? Why would he have a reason to put his hands on you if he like you slick and sassy anyway? But, you know, but that was debunked, man. The baby oil had to, remember everybody said it had tongue, it had ketamine, it had this in it, that in it. I mean, what the whoop?
Hollywood are on this trial?
No question. And I think people are afraid that they're going to be wrapped up in this because it can be, you know, a career killer. Even if the allegations are out there, right? If you knew something and you didn't say something and there's a witness that gets on that stand, and look, maybe Cassie is prepped and she's just staying in her lane, but we don't know what the other witnesses are going to say. Just you and I have tried all sorts of cases, and witnesses can go off the rails, or there could be tangents, or there could be allegations thrown out. One of the next victims, they say something about someone else. It's going to be very damaging, not just in that courtroom, but outside the courtroom as well.
If he gets convicted, do you think you're going to hear people speak out and say, this is what happened to me, now I finally want to tell my story? Do you think that's a possibility?
Of course.
I do. I think,
You're not going to get a bag.
There are people that probably are afraid of him. And if he is indeed locked up for the rest of his life, I think they will be more empowered to come forward. Absolutely.
Nima Rahmani, great.
Yo, you see this? They just cold convicted Diddy. They made everything you heard on social media facts to convict an innocent man that stand in trial to determine his guilt or innocent as we speak. Because he's presumed innocent until proven guilty by a jury of his peer, right? Well, the trial is going on, and these are the commentators. They're already saying he's guilty. When they get found guilty, people are going to feel better to come out. Yo, been on here long enough. Subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel, Juanita Mecca Audio. Man, I love you. I appreciate you. Go to Unique Mecca Audio Prison Stories. It's Saturday. Enjoy your time. Let's ride out.
Cheers, cheers. Toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
What?
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this.
Real.
Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, make an audio.